near future, memories are no longer private treasures of the mind but commodities stacked on shelves, cataloged, and priced. What once belonged only to the heart could now be extracted, polished, and sold to the highest bidder. They called them echoes, fragments of lived experience harvested through neural mapping technology. Anyone could walk into a memory exchange and purchase the thrill of a first kiss, the sorrow of a funeral, the triumph of a graduation, or the weight of a secret never meant to be shared. For some, it was a business. For others, an escape. And for many, it was an addiction. Julian worked as a broker at one of the largest exchanges in the city. His job was simple: match buyers with experiences they craved. Soldiers came seeking the adrenaline of battles they'd never fought. Lonely people purchased the warmth of family dinners they never had. Wealthy elites collected exotic emotions as though they were rare wines. Julian never indulged himself, though he was surrounded by shelves of shimmering glass capsules pulsing with faint light, each containing the essence of someone's past. He had rules, and his most important one was never to sell memories that were labeled as red tier, classified, traumatic, or dangerously addictive. One evening, a woman entered the exchange. She was dressed plainly, her face pale, her hands trembling slightly. She asked for something very specific. "I need the memory of a man named Elias Ward." Julian froze. The name was familiar. Elias Ward had been one of the earliest engineers who developed the technology for memory extraction. But he had disappeared years ago, leaving behind only rumors of sabotage and betrayal. Julian explained that names weren't part of the database. Memories were anonymized. But the woman leaned closer and whispered, "Check the restricted archive. He left something behind, and I need it before they erase it." Against his better judgment, Julian accessed the red tier database. There it was, a single capsule glowing with a faint crimson hue, tagged only with the code EW01. The system flagged it as dangerous, not for sale. The woman offered him everything she had: credits, favors, even her own unfiltered memories in trade. Something in her desperation made Julian hesitate. Eventually, he agreed, slipping the capsule into a discreet case. But curiosity gnawed at him. That night, alone in his apartment, he broke his rule and activated the capsule. The memory engulfed him. Suddenly, Julian was Elias Ward, standing in a secret laboratory, surrounded by unfinished machines. He saw the truth. The memory extraction process was never meant to be a marketplace. It had been designed as a weapon. Ward had discovered that memories could overwrite identities. With enough exposure, a person could be remade, their entire personality replaced by another life. The exchanges weren't just selling souvenirs. They were creating tools for control. And Ward had hidden this memory in hopes that someone, someday, would uncover it. Julian gasped as he returned to himself, shaking with the weight of what he had seen. But before he could act, his apartment lights flickered and died. A voice spoke from the shadows. It was the woman. "You weren't supposed to watch it," she said softly, stepping forward. Her face was no longer pale but cold, determined. She wasn't a desperate customer. She was an agent sent to recover Ward's secret before it spread. Julian tried to run, but she was faster, injecting a small device at the base of his neck. Pain seared his mind as she extracted not just Ward's memory, but his own, his childhood, his parents, the little fragments that made him Julian. She whispered as he collapsed, "Memories aren't bought, they're taken. And now, so are you." When Julian woke, he was no longer himself. He stood in a clean room, dressed in clothes that weren't his, looking into a mirror that reflected a stranger's face. A man entered, congratulating him on his successful reconditioning. They called him Elias Ward now, reinstated into a life that wasn't his to live. And somewhere deep in the vaults of the exchange, Julian's own memories sat in a capsule, glowing faintly, waiting for the day someone else might pay to live his life.